Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a commercial food photographer and stylist, and soon to be published cookbook author. And currently, my chair is being a bit of of a pain. Anyways, so yeah, that's who I am. And what we do here every single Saturday, well, most Saturdays, is we sit and we chat and we either plan our weeks or our months or we journal or we do art or whatever it is that you want to do for an hour and a half and hang out with me. If you're watching, come say hi in chat and let me know what you're up to. Normally, what I would be doing is I would be setting up my upcoming week, but I'm on holiday now until the new year, and I have some backfilling I have to do. The last 2 weeks, like those of you who have been watching know that I kind of crashed and burned after my book was submitted and went off to the printer, and I'm still feeling crashed and burned. So, I have burnout, is basically what it is. And because I'm like really behind on flip videos and I haven't really been doing much deco, I haven't had time to actually do art. So, what I'm doing today is I'm going to continue to decorate my days, like back decorate it. Um, because yeah, I would really like to be able to get hello, Anomic. How are you? Let me know what you're up to today. Yeah, I would like to get I don't know if I'll get all flips filmed by the new year. I'm just so very tired. I didn't get everything I wanted to get done work-wise before going on my holiday, which is fine. I mean, I might have to work here and there over the holiday just so I can have my 365 foreign dishes project up and running. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm also at the point in my sleep apnea treatment, my CPAP, that my body has finally started to realize, oh, you can sleep again, and you don't have to worry about like gasping for sleep in the middle of the night and waking up because you're literally choking to death. And so now I my body wants to sleep. It's like back to sleeping 10 to 12 hours because it's like, oh, you have this really huge sleep deficit to make up for. So that's where I am now in my sleep apnea is time to make up for a sleep deficit. And Anomic is setting up their reading journal for 2023. I have thought about doing one, but I mean, because as we know, I got this little Stalogy that I set up and then I never used. And but also I may not have time to read anything in 2023 because I may be working on 3 different books because someone is a little bit of a Yahoo who doesn't understand when to rest. And I was saying, glad to hear the machine is working for you. Yes, it is very much working for me. Much more so now that I switched to the nasal pillow mask. It took me a couple weeks to get used to falling asleep with it on and not worrying that it would slide because there's like barely anything keeping the mask to your face with a nasal pillow. So, but now that I'm like used to it, um, I'm not waking up nearly as often in the middle of the night because my mask is off. And now my body's just like, let's have all the sleep. So yeah, I I may use this as a reading journal, but I don't know if I'm gonna read. I might use it as like keeping thoughts like on things that I'm watching. I don't know. Like it's not like this cost a lot of money, but it's still like, how do I use this? I bought it. I was just gonna do like art journaling type thing. Um, and I just have not used it, so we'll see. But yeah, no, I'm a bit of a ninny who is like, let's see if I can write 3 books in 2023. And it's not really so much having them all complete in 2023. Let's get let's get absolutely like make sure we understand the parameters that I'm talking about. I have another nonfiction book that is of interest that I have to write a proposal for and then negotiate the contract and then start it. And that book, I'm telling them, needs to be like at least 18 months to do, maybe 2 years. So none of this entire writing and researching R&D, all that stuff in a year. Nope. Nope. Not happening again. I had a meeting on Monday with my PR person at Touchwood Editions, and I'm like, as great as this past year, like the experience has been for the past year, never again. Um, Anomik is saying I'm such an overachiever, like me, you, like yeah, calling me an overachiever, and maybe just a little bit. Um, the problem is I get bored. And then when I get bored, I was like, oh, what new project can I give myself today that is absolutely ridiculous that no other person would take on? So it's really boredom. It's like, yeah, it's really the fact that my brain needs to be stimulated at all times and not like in an ADHD way. It's just I like to be doing things and learning things. And then once I learn them, my autism is like, okay, we need to info dump everything you learned about it. So, yeah, it's a problem. I suppose. So yeah, so that I'm going to be writing the proposal, hopefully negotiating the contract, getting another book deal for my next nonfiction, and starting to work on that. So that's book number 1. Book number 2 is getting my YA finished and edited with my agent, and then having that go off to submission. So that's my second book for 2023. Anomik is saying the key is one project you like. How can I add in 10 projects? Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, so book number 2 is my YA. Hoping to get that done in end of January at the latest. I'm going to try and get a bunch of it done over my holiday break here. I don't know. So that's book number 2, and then book number 3 is we'll see how well Crip Up the Kitchen does, and if it does well, then book number 3 may be to write up a proposal to turn my 365. Oh shoot! I just dropped something. Hold on. Is to turn in or turn my 365 foreign dishes into into my second cookbook. So it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel. Like these are all things that I'm already working on, but they're just going to be, I didn't do that. They're just going to be worked on at an extra level. So, and then that is caveat on that is all of that may, except for if I have a contract for the other books that I know there's interest in. If my agent has some intellectual property projects for me to work on, like my 365 foreign dishes, it may go on a couple hiatuses if I have, depending on work that my agent gets for me. So we'll see about that. And another thing that I have decided since we last spoke with each other is I am definitely implementing a 4-day work week in 2023. And that is in addition to the in addition to me taking the last 2 weeks of every quarter off, because I know that if I am going to be extra in 2023, and looking at, like, I spent some time over the last couple of weeks really looking at how much time I have been taking off for self-care. Just, I can't tell which way is up or down on this. Has been taken off for self-care in 2022, like throughout the week, and it makes sense for me to adopt a 4-day work week, and the fact that I'm self-employed allows me to do that. So that's gonna be really interesting when we do our New Year's Eve stream. Anomik saying a 4-hour week seems like a great idea. Did I say 4-hour? If I said 4-hour, that just shows how tired I am and what. Or maybe you mistypoed and meant 4-day. I don't know, but either way, 4-hour, yeah. Let's do a 4-hour work week. I love the idea. I love the sound of that. But yes, it is more balanced overall. So I'm yeah, and because I have the privilege of doing that, being self-employed. Okay, it was Anomic's mistake and not mine. Either way, it's great. So, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of where I have privilege in ways that's not hurting other people, obviously. But yeah, one of the great things about being self-employed, and I'm at a spot now in my career where I do not have to grind as much as I used to. And I'm going to be 47 in January. Like, I am almost like, I keep seeing things like seniors in their 50s. First of all, you're not a senior until your 60s. This whole senior at 50s thing, no. I'm not having it, especially because I don't feel like I'm nearly like 50 is going to be like around the corner. But also, I am almost 50 and I'm tired, and I deserve, like, I've worked hard to be able to get to a place where I can adopt a 4-day work week. And Anomic's saying there's actually a book by Tim Ferriss called The 4-Hour Work Week, though. Interesting. I'm going to have to see what that's about because that idea intrigues me. I need to put this right here. I have running out of space. So, yeah, I'm doing that. I also have, did I set it up in my 2023? I've started to think about my goals for the year. Yes, I did. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, those are the 3 books. Switch my Kennedy Council project or profile from um, from new artist to professional artist, especially now that I have an agent. I qualify to be now up. I'm officially a professional um, artist. I lost my spot. There we go. Now I'm just saying we have senior community that is 50. Yeah, so yeah, we have community housing that is 55 plus as well. Though it's now in BC, they have. I am almost there. um, they have now in BC. They have eliminated the the 55 plus housing, because there's such a like families, there's no housing for families because most like rentals people have deemed them plus 55, and you can't do that anymore with rentals. So it's to combat the housing crisis. So, but yes, and also you can get like some old age, like they're almost like, I think they're called 401ks in the US, like retirement savings plans. Some of them you can cash out on when you're 55, and then yeah. But it's all, I think it all started because of that when retirement investment funds were like, ooh, you're 55, early retirement. That's what it was. That's how it started, was early retirement. And now all of a sudden 55 is 65, and I'm not having that. No. And even at 65, like, am I still, I don't know if I'm still going to be able to be doing photography at the level that I am, like, at the, like, as my primary means of income when I'm 65. Like, it's a lot. It's difficult on my body, but I'm hoping to have a writing career that's still going at 65. Economic is saying, yes, same here. Their partner just hit 49. So I tease them, I being anomic, all the time, that we can get AARP soon. Yeah, that's the commercials I see for in America. Yeah. And they have something similar in Canada that I can't think of the name right now. But yeah, so my partner, they are turning 51 next year, and I keep laughing or joking with them that they're almost at retirement age, and they hate me. Like, they get so, not angry, not like really, really angry, but it hits a nerve. Telling them that they're almost at retirement age if they wanted to. They're not going to. They like their job too much to retire, and I doubt they'll retire when they're 65, even if they're able to. Okay, that's crooked, I think. Yes, it is. So, because underneath is crooked. All good. It's all good. So, I like doing that, but I'm actually looking forward to 50, which is weird. I was also looking forward to 40. And, like, I had a big celebration on my 40th birthday because, holy crap, I mean, at 40, because, like, in and out of hospitals all the time because of chronic illness, and it actually was, like, small miracle. And I wanted to have, to celebrate my 45th the same way, but, the panini happened and could not. So, the plan is to hopefully do another great big celebration for my 50th birthday and have my friends come in, and it was just a big huge adult slumber party for the whole entire weekend, and it was a lot of good fun. And now Mike is saying all the years you get to experience are good. Yes. And I don't know. I've never been, like, aging has never been something that bothered me. Maybe because I'm 47 and only now starting to get white hairs, but I want them. I still don't have fine lines, and I want them. Like, I'm the person that's like, I have earned these fine lines and wrinkles and gray hair, and, like, I've had a long, productive life. Give me, give me the aging now. I've finally, no, I think I got ID'd the other day. But yeah, people don't believe that I'm my children's parent. I mean, my adult children's parents. They don't believe I'm a grandparent. Um, I'm not. I want to. I mean, I've had a life, and it needs to be reflected. Do I have anything that would work? I think that would work. It's not really Halloweeny. Hmm. Those are too floral-y. That's not. That's too spring. I bought all these washies that are like great on their own, but trying to find a way to use them. These are from the Illuminating box on Etsy, which is a Canadian Etsy for Canadian viewers who are looking to support a Canadian shop. Well, until I get my shop going. Monomic saying it always hits them when famous people are so much younger. And I say to myself, wow, I'm getting old. So when did that happen the other day? No. So I don't have that specific thing happening because I just don't. I'm always shocked when people my age, Ellen's DJ Twitch surprised me with how old he was. Twitch, I know Twitch from So You Think You Can Dance, and Twitch will always be a dancer to me. I never watched Ellen. I'm very sad about the news with Twitch. That devastated me. Um, yeah, Twitch was that's sad. That's sad. I hope Twitch rests in power. Um, yeah, but he was surprising. But I've known Twitch since 2000, and I guess it was 2008 when he first appeared on So You Think You Can Dance. No, that's when he was runner up. But he first auditioned like at the very beginning. So like 2006, I want to say, is how long. And then the Step Up movies and Magic Mike and a few other things. But yeah, Twitch is a dancer to me before anything else. Before he helped to make sure that Ellen did not disappear into oblivion, because Ellen was on the verge of disappearing into oblivion before Twitch came on. And Ellen danced with, like, Ellen saw Twitch on So You Think You Can Dance, and that's why Ellen is like, hey, come work on my show, for people who don't know that. But so I was like, the things that get me is like the actor who plays Doc Brown. Can't think of his name right now. He is younger than I am right now when he played Doc Brown in Back to the Future 1. Um, so that throws me for a loop. And there's a whole bunch of actors that looked like they were in their 60s when they were in their 40s back in the day. And I'm always like, how come, like, why were you so old back then? Like, what were you all doing to your bodies? What was different about food between then and now? Like, what on earth is happening for you all to look like you were in your 60s and be like bald and completely grayed in your mid 40s? Please, and like so many wrinkles. Please explain that to me. But I also have like experiences like people who are my age who like say things that are like really old. Like they act like they're so old, and they complain about like modern music and stuff like that. And I'm like, when did you all get old? Because here I am still listening to like the top whatever's charting right now. Like I don't the music from my um heydays, like the music from the 80s and 90s when I was like a kid and a teenager. That's not my nostalgia music. That's not what I'm listening to. I'm listening to music that is on today. And I'm saying yes, the makeup aging helps too, like Sophia on Golden Girls. See, Sophia was different. But it's not even like, even I see the memes going around. I need to pick something. I see the memes going around with like the Golden Girls in modern hair, to say how it was like the hairstyles back then that aged them, and they still look older, like even with, and were pretty much close to my age. They still look a million years older than I do. But also, thing that is weird that we need to figure out. I mean, like the science community, is why autistics, um, like we actually do not age in the same way as allistic people, which is like, and my theory to that is because life doesn't stress us out in the same ways as with as it does with allistic people. Things kind of life was rough back then. I'm like saying yes. I think like not only rough, like also they were doing things to their bodies that I mean everybody was like coking up and stuff like that. I mean, people were not kind to themselves back in the day. That's another part of it, I think, as well. Because, yeah, I mean, they were not kind to themselves. So that is definitely part of it. Oh, this is really Halloweeny. Do I have? You know what? I think. Do I have any more Halloween stuff to fill us in? Because none of these washies really work for Halloween big day. I don't know. I'm saying yes, stress will get you. Yeah, it will. So, and it's not like I'm not stressed out or experience stress. I do. And into things that are like illicit people are like, why is that a big deal to you? It's because, but it's, oh, this is spooky. But yeah, it's just different. The that is my theory anyways, and it needs to be tested. I think this will work. Yeah. Let's do this. It's too bad none of these are small enough to fit on the bottom. But that works for that. Go back to this. So yeah, as everybody who celebrates Christmas or does the Christmassy stuff, are you like that's next week, isn't it? We don't do Christmas anymore because it's just me and my partner and like my oldest lives provinces are away and my youngest has I mean, yeah, I don't have grandkids or anything in town. They all live far away. And the only reason why I put up a tree or did Christmas beforehand was for the kids. It's not really so. Yeah, for those of you who are doing, yeah, for those of you who are celebrating Christmas next week, and I can't believe it is next week. Are you all ready? Have you finished your holiday shopping? Are you a procrastinator last minute? I would like to know. I know I can use these. Do you have anything planned? Oh, I have so a nice thing, and I'm really gonna miss it because my landlord is getting old. But every single year, my landlord drops off. That reminds me, I have to write out my rent checks. Yes, my landlord still has me use paper checks for rent. Because they're old. They don't know how to do online banking. Um, so yeah, they still take their banks like deposits to the bank. Anyways, every single year they drop off a turkey and a bottle of wine. So I will be cooking the turkey sometime this coming week. And I might be doing a bread pudding because yeah, it's like a pear and the bread is sourdough and then it has like cinnamon and it takes like 4 hours in the oven. And it's oh yeah, so the bread is soaked in whole milk and then pears, halved, bread, pears, or no, bread, yeah, pears, water, sugar, cinnamon. Bring it to a boil on the stove, stick it in the oven until all the water is absorbed into the bread. So I'm going to do that, and then I might do, well, I have to do mashed potatoes, because you have to have mashed potatoes and gravy. So now I'm saying we just tell the kids to pick 3 things they would like to have, and that's it for us. That's actually really good. When my kids, we would have, it would be like 5 presents is what they would get, and nothing, I mean, yeah, 5 presents, Christmas, and then they would get like little, but they had so much family, right? They didn't need a whole bunch of stuff under the tree, and they didn't mind. Like, they didn't know any different. Um, but they had so many different sets of grandparents and aunts and uncles, and there was no no need for us to um, add on to that. Okay, where are we? We're now in to November, and so yeah, we're gonna do the turkey. I might do some homemade stuffing. I don't know. I'm the only one who eats it. I do a bread stuffing in the bird. Oh wait, I think actually sometimes my landlord the turkey, some I have to check this, and I have to check if it's a cooked from frozen one, because last year was a cooked from frozen one that was brined that I defrosted first, which was a mistake, and it had stuffing in it. I made the stuffing to stuff the bird, and there was already stuffing in the bird, so I have to check that again because that was good. And now because plus we are traveling now, so no need for decorations. Yeah, that's the one thing I miss. I used to do my tree up like really exquisitely, and that is the one thing. Like when we got our beagles, we had to stop doing the Christmas tree because they liked to play with the Christmas tree more so than the cats. So yeah, I need to decorate this. Am I done with? Yes, I am. So I need to find some autumny stuff. I thought I took it out. Maybe I didn't. No, this is Halloween. And no, those are dates. I just can't find and then Anamika is saying for dinner they want to do a king crab legs or lobster rolls. Something totally out of the norm. Oh, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. And that's the thing that I really like is when you're able to do stuff that is outside of the norm. I mean, that's where as I was watching. Oh, we haven't talked about what we're watching in a while. So it's on HBO Max in America, on Crave in Canada, and it is called The Big Brunch, and it's with Dan Levy and a couple other food people. And it's basically Dan Levy misses doing the Great Canadian Baking Show, but he really loves brunch, and he really loves showcasing the reality of swearing in the kitchen. So if you are opposed to swearing, or at least opposed to your little ones hearing swearing, you will, but it's not gratuitous swearing. I mean, but there is uses of the word F and a whole bunch of other swears. Um, but yeah, so the big brunch, it's good because it has a lot of heart. And it's with professional cooks instead of amateur cooks like Great Canadian Baking Show. I haven't watched GBBO, so I don't know if those are also amateur cooks or bakers on GBBO. I'm assuming it is. Okay, I thought I grabbed it, but I did not. So that is a thing to watch if you're looking for something to watch. And then, so after watching Sidebar, Anamik is saying, are you really talkative dogs? Okay, Huskies. It depends on the Husky, because our last dog, um, so if you have HBO Max, because it's on HBO Max in America. So you don't need to get a Canada channel. Crave is a subscription service in Canada. But if you have HBO Max, you can watch The Big Brunch. It's shot in the U.S. It's shot in New York. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's shot in New York. Um, but it's Dan Levy's brainchild, and he did it on HBO Max because of swearing and there's a big cash money prize to the winner. I'm looking for Autumny things. Crap. What was I saying? Uh, yeah. It's good. Just watch it. I'm gonna play with these babies. I think. It's gonna be out of place, but I don't care. And then, so, um, but if you want to watch Great Canadian Baking Show, you can watch that on Netflix, I believe. And then we're also watching on HGTV Canada, and I don't know if it's in the US. And this is gonna sound horrible what I'm about to say, but it's not. So ever since, like you learn in if you watch Pam and Tommy, or Pamela and Tommy, or whatever it is, the unauthorized biopic about Pamela Anderson, life did her really dirty. Um, and she has an HGTV show because she's moved back here. She's basically my neighbor because if you live within 20 minutes of anybody, you're neighbors. Um, here. So she moved back home here. Bought her like decades ago. She bought her grandparents' property that was abandoned, and then it just sat. And now she spent the last year renovating it, like 2021, renovating it. So she got married Christmas Eve 2020. Spent 2021 on the phase one renovations of her property just down the road. Got like separated like on her anniversary on Christmas Eve 2021. Announced it January 2022. So the show was filmed during that year of her marriage. And it's really good. It's called Pamela's Garden of Eden. Can't remember if I said it or if I started to say it and cut myself off because autistic thought sorting. Um, but it was really it's a thing that I love. This is gonna sound really bad, but it isn't. It really isn't because Pamela is living her best life. And I want her to live her best life because she deserves to live her best life because she has been dealt shitty deal. Sorry. Yeah, it was fast. But I'm getting to sorry if small kids were around. I normally do not swear on this, but and I normally catch myself first. But it's like that deserves she's had a rough life. And she deserves to be in her best life. But at least like you see like within the 3 episodes of watching Pamela's Garden of Eden, you're wanting her to friggin' dump his ass and leave him because he's not nice. He's not like completely abusive, but he's not a good dude. And like she romanticizes everything. She has a very I don't want to say childlike because that's like used often in very misogynistic ways towards women. But she still has a very, I mean, I like to, and um, it's very autistic, like not jaded when she should be jaded. Like she still has a lot of awe and wonder when it comes to life and seeing the beauty in things. Um, and she's a very pure person and very sweet. And she deserves to be living her best life and not to be saddled with dead weight. And so the thing that I like about Pamela's Garden of Eden is that we get to watch her relationship disintegrate. And it's not really so much taking joy in the disintegration, it's taking joy in watching her stand up for herself and her needs and her wants and saying, "Not today, Satan, not today." Um, she is 55, I want to say. She is in her 50s, mid 50s. Could be 54, could be 56. It's in her mid 50s. Um, and she does not, I don't care how many times she gets married. I mean, if the person is not good to her, it does not treat her like the queen she is, it does not treat her how she deserves to be treated, then get rid of them. And I hope that she finds somebody younger. How old is she? Yeah, I'll answer that. I hope she finds somebody who's younger, who treats her for the queen that she is, and just enables her every single wish and desire. It does not actively do things to sabotage her. Because, spoiler alert, that's what her most recent ex-husband, kept doing during the renovations. It's not his money. It's not his property. I mean, and anyways, he was pretty misogynistic sometimes, and so it was. I like the fact that they showed basically like you get to see the reasons for why her marriage lasted like exactly 1 year before they separated. And like there's like little hints throughout there. It's like renovations are always hard in relationships, and they are. But it wasn't the renovation that caused the stress. I'm gonna say that so people can discover for themselves why we are proud that Pamela got a divorce and said, "Not today, Satan," to Dan. Not today. Anamika is saying, "I was wondering why people keep jumping into marriage. I was just hearing about the mess with the host of Good Morning America. I know nothing about that, but I mean, in Pamela's case, a lot of it, and if I don't know, I don't know how much, because I don't want to spoil the Pammy and Tommy thing for people who want to watch it, even though there's parts of it that really upsets Pam because of how she was portrayed. But overall, like, Pam's she's a badass. Pamela Anderson is a badass, and she deserves 100% the best. And that's what I took away from the Pammy and the Pam and Tommy thing. She's an amazing person, and I'm very glad that she's decided to call Canada back home. But she talks about, or like she's come back home to Canada, and that's where like she still has a place in France, and she sold her place on Malibu Beach, but she still has somewhere to go in the U.S. when she wants to get away from, even though it's not like the show, like they show scenes like a week before Christmas, and it's still green and lush and stuff here, right? Because we live in Hawaii of Canada. But and I'm saying it just seems like people need to stay single sometimes and don't need to rush down the aisle. Yes, that's true. Um, but I mean, Pam is a very. There's some people who really like romanticize things, and Pam talks about it. In like when it came with Dan, I mean, and she makes jokes about her past relationships. Like she never wants to be in a relationship with somebody who is not normal. She's never going to have another showbiz relationship. And she met Dan because Dan was a contractor during the show is actually phase two because there was like a phase one that was off camera. Dan was her bodyguard and her contractor. And Pam, like she likes to adopt in stray animals, she also likes to adopt in stray people. And what I mean by that is like one of her construction people on the phase one of the renovations is now her personal assistant. All the contractors that she has on her house are people who have had really difficult lives and needed another chance in life. Um, and needed somebody to say, hey, I see you as a person and not your mistakes. And I would love to have you work on my house and have a life like because she's also had some really horrible things happen to her in her life. Um, Before both like growing up, she did not have an easy childhood. We're gonna leave it at that because I don't want to talk about things that are triggering on a live stream when I can't like give content warnings and stuff like that. So, but we'll leave it at that. And so, um, Dan was one of those people where it's one of those things where he acted like he had her best interest in heart as her bodyguard, and he was just normal, somebody, and they were having laughs and a good time, and she liked that. She liked somebody who was not famous, and she wants a normal life. And Dan was normal until he revealed the jerk that he is. And Anomik is saying, I'm glad she was able to get out from under, though. Yes. So I think like Pam is the type of person that believes the best in everybody first. Um, and she wants the best for everybody. Like she just wants people to be happy and have opportunities and um, she's just a good person. Genuinely good person. And there's like all these funny stories that she tells that I think like don't tell people that, Pam, because you're just gonna like your people are gonna take that the wrong way and they're gonna show up to at your house because we all know where she lives and there's no security like anybody. Anyways, I don't want to give away too much, but she is just a really sweet person, and it's good that she's back home, and it's good that she wants like she knows that she wants a normal life, and her kids keep saying, but mom, you're not normal. Like, stop trying to have a normal life when you're not normal. Like, nothing about you is normal, but she is normal. Like, she wants her kids to understand that no, she's a small town Canadian girl, and she wants to go back to being a small town Canadian girl and have and do the things that small town Canadian girls do and make up for a lot of years that were um, I don't want to say taken away because again that makes her sound like a victim when she's anything but she just wants to have a life that she missed out on while she was doing California acting, posing for Playboy things, stuff that she could not do. And living back here on Vancouver Island, because we don't care, we don't have celebrity culture, allows her to have the life that she wishes she had all along. Anomik is saying Obama said he tried to go for a walk in Central Park and it lasted for about 5 minutes. A baseball bat was not enough cover. Jesus. Or baseball hats. Baseball hats was not enough. Yeah. And see, that's the problem. Like, you can't have a normal life in the US. Where I'm like, if Obama was to move here, he would have a normal life. Nobody would care that and he would actually go unrecognized in some parts of Canada. So because and yeah, nobody would care. As the Virginians or Southern Americans would like to say, that don't make no never mind to people in Canada. honestly and truly, especially because politicians do not. We don't put our politicians on a pedestal. Like, it's one of the reasons also, but Vancouver Island especially, like Justin Trudeau spends his summers on Vancouver Island because he mostly gets left alone. I mean, he still has to have his security detail because he's the Prime Minister of Canada, but he gets to have, like, even the media stay, like, there's unspoken rules in Canada about those sorts of things. And every now and then, the paparazzi got curious when Pam first moved back home and would like try and take pictures of her through like her, because her road is, or the front of like her house is like right on the road. But that became boring very, very quickly for the, like, 'cause she wasn't doing anything except for gardening, like doing normal things. I'm out here gardening with my dogs. Take all the pictures that you want. I am living my normal, simple life. Like, get a life. So, um, Anomik saying New York is still much better than California, though. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have the same. I can't find what I'm looking for stickers. It doesn't have the same paparazzi culture. Oh my God. We also, speaking of Vancouver Island and paparazzi and like being able to get away from it all, we just finished watching Harry and Meghan on Netflix. And when I become a TV and film maker, I'm gonna do things like be ridiculous and label stuff like Salem, USA, because if provinces cannot exist, doesn't exist in American media, and not just Canadian provinces, but worldwide, then states don't exist in my media. Number one. But the reason why I bring that up is because Netflix on the show, and I don't know who made the decision, decided to label Vancouver Island as if it was a town, and would always refer to Vancouver Island, which is an island, but it's like multiple cities and towns on this island. It's a big island. It is a big island. But they were labeling it as Vancouver Island, Canada. And I'm like, there is, like, Vancouver Island, Canada is not a town. It's not something you can mail something to. It's not, people don't live, like, I will say I'm from Vancouver Island, but it's not like, yeah, anyways, we would never do that in a Canadian TV show. Like, it would be town, province, Canada. So that's a funny thing. But, so, and it's about paparazzi. The paparazzi destroyed their lives. It's really sad that they had to leave Canada because they decided to come to the island and break the rules that we have about people come to the island. And a lot of celebrities have homes here on the island to get away from, especially, yeah, the California can't leave your house without 100 pap, as they call it, paparazzi follow you around. So now what I'm trying to find, oops, stop. I need to go back to like going through and pasting one sticker. It is crazy. One, like what I explained it last week, to get rid of these stickers, I'm like just taking a sticker from a sheet, sticking them through one at a time. And I thought I had a bunch of autumn. This is my personal one. I'm trying to find the sheets that I had set aside. And then I decided to tidy my desk. And now I can't find the sheets that I wanted to like use up. before I move on to all my other stuff that I bought. I mean, I guess I could start with this one, but I need something for here. Oh, this might actually work. Is that a sticker? Not the butterfly. Like, no, that's too big. But this one might be big enough. This would work. Oh, yes, that works. And I'm angry with how people are covering the Harry and Meghan docuseries because it isn't about the royal family. It's about the horribles of British media and the relationship that they have with the firm, which is the corporation that manages the royal family. Because the royal family is a family. And then there's the firm, which is an actual corporate identity that manages the people that make up the royal family. And there is like this unspoken relationship, like quid pro quo between the firm and British tabloid media, and the Harry and Meghan docuseries is about that. And there's so many people in Canada, monarchists, who are very, very angry about the docuseries. And I'm like, you guys are disgusting. Like, so disgusting. And just the amount of racism in those discussions is not unbelievable, but it is a lot. And I just don't understand. It's almost the year 2023. And it's just, why are we still having these conversations? I'm tired of my fellow white people. And now I'm saying I have to ask if you've seen the crazy NFT. Oh my God, NFT cars that trump my laughter is because, yes. Oh my God. I even sat through the whole 2 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever it was video about them. And oh my God, it's I don't even know. Like there are no there are no words. It's not even, I mean, it's even too ridiculous to be a parody. Like it's 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 not a, and we all know that they're being used because they're to fund his 2024 campaign. And NFTs are the only way that foreign people will be able to, like, legal, it's not even legal, but because there is no regulation, like it's NFTs is a great way to money launder launder money, get foreign funds to fund your campaign because there's no way of tracking where the money's coming from. And so that's why he did it. We have to be real about that. But oh my God. And I'm like saying it is so appalling. I don't know if it could get any worse. Yeah, it is appalling. And there has to be some type of, I mean, but it's one of those things where foreign money can buy the NFTs and then he can donate to his own camp, like withdraw those funds and fund his campaign that is like not going to get money otherwise without foreign interference. And it's just so ridiculous. Like, it was so, I mean, I can't say I could not believe it is real because I absolutely believed it's real. But it's like, it's parody. It is just absurdity at its finest. And I don't, I mean, and it's been a difficult week because, so I'm like, Twitter is my primary um social media platforms. So that's happening as Felon Husk, that's what I'm calling him, Felon Husk, is banning journalists for writing stories that are unfavorable to the new owner of Twitter. So they're actually facing sanctions from Europe because it's against the law to ban reporters and a few other things, and they're being sued. And so now I'm trying to find a new social media home on top of that clown car happening. Monomic is saying there are times that they miss George Carlin the most. He would have a field day with the whole Trump debacle. Yes, Felon Musk. I'm glad you find that amusing. Um, oh, so that's a problem. So yeah, I'm just as this week has been, yeah, between the Trump NFTs and Felon Musk, this week has been extra gobsmacking on Twitter. So it's not really so, oh, I have a muscle cramp because I had to double up my, um, I'm on 2 different blood pressure medications. I think I talked about this. And I had to double the diuretic. And so it's causing potassium deficits, which cause muscle spasms every now and then. And I just got a muscle spasm in the back of my thigh. It's not your thigh when it's just the back of your top leg. It's whatever that muscle is behind. Anyways, it's over now. But I almost yelled for a minute. But yeah, it has been a week on my social media of just absolutely my brain screaming, what on earth is going on? This this cannot be real life. I mean, I know it's real life, but it's just so extra beyond beyond anything remotely acceptable. And it's not even so much about acceptability as it is, well, it is. But yeah. So I'm really like, so I had my meeting with my in-house PR person on Monday, and January we hit the ground running, and there's like a big part, because I have a strong community on Twitter, a big part of our marketing plan for Crip Up the Kitchen is to like reach out to other disability, um, I don't want to say influencers because that's, but people in the disability justice space to like if they want to like if they want to do something, either like a giveaway or something to do with my book. And there's some people that I need to be reaching out to because it's always better when it's the author, not the publicist. But if Twitter is really on the verge of collapse, there might be a walkout. They're being sued by by not only former employees that were illegally laid off without proper warning or severance, but also they haven't paid their rent. Um, they haven't paid a lot of their contractors. Anyway, it's just, yeah, there is, and then they're facing sanctions in the EU, and they may be removed from stores in the app stores. And what am I gonna do? Like, that's a stress that I don't have to think about yet. But so now I'm trying to like build a community on Mastodon, and it's really funny. So there's this thing that I do, that's very common with autistics, is we observe the lay of the land. Like, we take a really long time watching our environment that we're in to see to see what the rules of engagement are, basically. And So now I'm having to do this on both Mastodon and Hive Social to see like what's what's the social norms to see how I'm gonna, because might have to rebuild my main social media platform. And it's a lot. It's a lot because even though I'm talkative, once I feel comfortable, getting comfortable, like I mean, to the point where I can be 100% authentic, is a lot of work. I'm not saying they heard some are trying to head over to older platforms, but they don't know. No, see, they're not trying to head over. I mean, some of us are still like emphasizing our blogs and have making sure but there's a lot of my circles on like my community on Twitter are both going are between Mastodon and Hive. So that's what I'm trying. And they have, I mean, Mastodon has problems. Hive has problems. Of course, Twitter has problems, but before Felon Husk, it wasn't the problems that we're having now. And they were actually like dealing with those problems. They had a whole bunch of councils to like make it less white and to make it more um not a home for abuse. And like this the security council, like Felon Husk just fired the people that actually like work with marginalized communities to make sure that there is room for them. All of that stuff is being like all the safety protocols are being dismantled. Well, king of free speech in air quotes, um, I'm going to nurture free speech, is busy banning anybody who says anything about him that he does not personally approve of. It's a problem. Oh, this isn't really autumn, but December deserves a bunch of tea. Or November. Yes. November deserves some teacups because this was a month, and I think taking a break every day. Let's do this. Just lay the stickers. Because I really need to get rid of these Sticky Club stickers. Or not get rid of them. I need to make use of them. I need to use them up. So that I can move on to my haul. Put this here. Anamika saying it seems like it was destroyed on purpose by him because it was too much free speech going on about him and others far right. Yes. And the thing is, like, there was a whole, like, the left was actually censored. Like, there's documented, verifiable statistical proof that the left was censored far more than the right. And it was actually, like, the rage machine, the right, hate that propelled and was trending the most often and all that other stuff. So, but it was basically, like, people joke that he took over Twitter because his ex, why were Grimes and him married? I don't know. Anyways, Grimes left him for a trans woman, for Chelsea Manning, and everybody on Twitter was making fun of him for it. So he basically bought it to out of revenge to stop people from making fun of him because he's a big, huge man baby. Who, of course, he is. I mean, Apartheid Pete is absolutely a man baby. Um, and I mean, like his latest thing, like I don't know. I've muted him, and like I blocked his account, and I muted words associated with him because I don't need that negativity on my feed. I really don't. And but every now and then, like things like there's like now like there's a whole Okay, they were never married. Thanks for letting me know. But they have two kids together. So, and she's foolish but I'm glad she decided to nope out of that. Um, but anyways, so you know how you can track planes? It is private or public information. Well, there was an account that was basically that gave out real-time information about his private jet, and you can do it with any plane whatsoever. Like, it's publicly available information. Well, that's how this latest started, was because he banned that account and any links to that account on other social media platforms, and then journalists started covering it, and then those journalists started to get banned. And then he had a temper tantrum in a Twitter space conversation, and called people were giving out my assassination coordinates in real time, and so assassination coordinates started to trend. But that has been really funny because now there's all these people who are like, well, according to Felon Husk, the star over Bethlehem gave out Jesus Christ's assassination coordinates. NORAD is not going to be able to do the large lifetime Santa tracking because that's giving out the assassination coordinates to um, Santa. But also, dude, nobody cares enough about you to want to assassinate you. They just want you to go away. Like, come on. You are not. I mean, you're hated, but you do not know, Mr. Friggin' Apartheid. Like, that's just like, of all. He's just the epitome of cis white het male privilege. And it's not funny. It is not funny. But then we get some gems, like people thinking of all the everyday things that are assassination coordinates. Um, Not make a saying that they wonder if this is real life anymore. Yeah, I kind of have thoughts like that too. Like, what is going on anymore? Like, do we even know? Is there any, is this autumny? This is autumn enough. I mean, mushrooms and ferns, this is autumn to me. Yeah, it's not even, it's, I'm saying it has gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. Yes, that is exactly what it is. Like, it's not even, and it's like I spend more time laughing so I don't cry, and it's not like the good laughing, it's like I have to laugh about it, otherwise I am going to cry, especially because the amount of queer hate for everyone on the rainbow that has gone up by like 300%, and not just online, but it's like translating to, and even in Canada, to appearances, events needing to be shut down because of um, viable threats. Like my last in speaking engagement, there had to be security because of specific threats. And I have a book that I have to promote in 2023. And I mean, and I'm a white person. And it's just like, if I'm like all the queer people of color who have something they have to do in 2023, it's not going to be. I mean, my only saving grace is that I am lucky to have a publishing house that is not going to, that where I was not going to make me do anything um, that I feel uncomfortable doing, or that I feel puts my safety at risk. Not only my physical safety, but also my mental well-being. And but yeah, so that's like, I have to laugh, otherwise I'm going to be paralyzed in fear, and I'm not going to enjoy my book launch, which is going to be, which is, I mean, it's a big, my book is a big freaking deal. I'm on a public world forum telling ableism, especially ableism and whitewashing and colonialism, and how that those things have hurt foods, especially for people of color, because I have a responsibility as a white person to do my part to decolonize the stuff that I'm working on. And this is something to be celebrating. And everything that's going on, I may laugh about it, I may make names like Felon Husk, but it's that, or become paralyzed in fear and not enjoy something that's going to be probably one of my greatest life accomplishments. And that got heavy really quickly. But yes, I'm just, for anybody who's watching this, I'm not making light of it because it is serious. And the fact that I understand the seriousness of it. And it makes me very sad because Twitter, especially Twitter, like I haven't been on Facebook in 10 years. I left 11 years. I left Facebook in maybe even 12 years. It was either 2010 or 2011 that I left Facebook. Um, and then I'm like saying, even though strides have been made, can you imagine before the 60s how none of this was remotely possible? Yeah. I mean, that's a thing too. But it's also, it feels like for every, well, I mean, we made lots of strides. And then this past year or two, I mean, there has been a lot of backsliding. We have, especially in America. Canada, I have a lot of privilege to be in Canada, but when we think about the Supreme Court decision on Roe, um, America having to like do the law to like reaffirm same-sex marriage because that is also in at risk. Interracial marriages are at risk in the US. Like it's like rights are not handed. We're still having to fight the same fights, and some like even more because a lot of the those rights are now at legitimate risk of no longer being a thing unless there's another like constitutional amendment, and the chances of that happening right now are very, very slim, and I legitimately worry for marginalized people. I mean, in both kinds, yeah. There's the same forces are at work in Canada as well. We just had to have a big, huge like hearing because of the when Ottawa was under siege, a big security hearing and hearing about just exactly how many legitimate threats of terrorism there were during that. All because Canada decided, hey, marginalized people should be protected during the panini. So, I mean, it's not worse, but I have concerns. We'll put it that way. I have concerns, and I just never figured in the year 2023 that I would still have like I'm fighting harder now for my rights than I was 10 years ago. And I live in Canada, so I can only imagine what it's like for people in America right now. And I'm like, if AI takes over, this might be why they think humans need to be wiped out. Gosh, I was talking, so a friend of mine made a comment about how somebody told them, a conservative Jew told them, and they're Jewish, that unless someone cannot consider themselves Jewish unless they speak Yiddish. Only real Jews like speak like you're only a real Jew if you speak Yiddish. And um, so my friend is like, that's just because they are an Orthodox Jew. And we have talks often because I'm a quarter Jewish on my dad's side, and just how that's like for my that side of my family to be able to emigrate to Canada, they had to lie about their religion because Canada was not accepting Jews at the time. So there's just a whole history of colonization there that also like informs the work that I do. And my response to them was people were a mistake. Meaning when God was creating all the things, if you believe whatever your idea of the divine is, whether it be, I don't care, even if it's the universe as the creator of things, some force that came into being before the Big Bang. I don't care. But yes, in the process of evolution and creating all the things, nature, God, the divine, the all knowing, they made a mistake with humans. People were a mistake. Like we're the problem. And again, I say that jokingly, like with a laugh. But it is so difficult some days to just to be okay with it. I mean, like to not wake up and be absolutely paralyzed by it all, and to do like I just have to thank the stars for the years of trauma therapy that I was in, because I would probably be like not I'd be telling my publisher I'm going to be a hermit in 2023. Sorry, but I'm not going to be available to promote my book. I'm going to be sick in 2023. My dog my dog ate my marketing plan. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so I think ooh, this is working out. Um, Anomix says, this is why you have to laugh, because otherwise this would be so overwhelming. Exactly. And it helps that I have so we just finished watching Wednesday as well. Wednesday and I are um, kin. We're like Anne's bosom buddy, Diana. We're bosom buddies. We're kindred spirits. Um, I have to fill in this in at some point. But yeah, so also helps that I have a morbid sense of humor, because I can take things that are really, really dark and laugh about them at my own expense, not at anyone else's expense. And if it comes off as I'm laughing at someone else's expense, then I expect to be called out or called in, depending on the situation on that. See, I don't know what it is about like grabbing one of these sheets and just doing like having it completely different sets on the same pages, but for some reason it works out in a way that's not horrible. I mean, this one's a bit weird, but once I start filling out the page, I think it will be better. You just work together eventually. Gotta decorate that on its own. Let's do this. How much time do we have? 6 minutes. I am almost regretting, not really, but almost not buying 2 days for 2023, because all of the 365 stuff just takes up so much of my page. I'm not going to have as much room for decorating, or I have to like not have as many to-dos outside of photography and cooking. Because, yeah, these pages that I don't have a lot of room to decorate make me sad. I like adding little bits of deco. And I'm saying they were saying that by 2050, Alaska would feel like Florida. This is still mind-boggling to me. Yeah, and we're starting to have that. Yeah, it's the same with the Northern Territories, the Indigenous territories in Canada. It's not good. Like we've lost so much of the ice sheet in Canada's Arctic, and that ice sheet is very, very important for Inuit people for hunting and sustaining themselves. And so the fact that the ice sheet is, yeah, there's some big, huge, like already food insecure place is becoming more food insecure because traditional ways of hunting are no longer happening, and the polar bears are starving to death, and all that fun stuff. Fun is absolutely in air quotes. I need to go back and add these little stars. It's like little teeny deco, and there's so much on the sheet. Oops. Oh, that's it right here. Some little flourishes. They're barely visible. They're there. No. What else? No. Here we go. Let's do this one right here. Where's my tweezers? Try it without tweezers. This one. Yes, this less thinking, more just sticking. Actually, this could go here. There's a spot here that needs some decoration. I need to stop second guessing myself when I'm doing the decorating. Is that all of them on this sheet? I think so. It's hard to tell sometimes. Okay, what time is it? It's time to start tidying up. Oh, where did I grab these from? Jules, what are you doing? I think I grabbed it from here. Yes, I did. Wow. Okay, so I hope that you have a wonderful week. And everybody who's watching this on replay, I hope you have a fantastic week. And if you celebrate Christmas, I hope your Christmas is quiet and peaceful and full of love. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope your week is quiet and peaceful and full of love, and that you get to have some time over the winter to have some type of reconnecting with friends and loved ones, not necessarily family, because we all know, I want to acknowledge that family can, like, just thinking about family during the holidays can be especially difficult, especially this holiday that people tend to place a lot of emphasis on. So, yeah, take care of yourself over the next couple weeks because I know it's going to be difficult for a lot of people. And reach out to your friends and make new traditions. Make this the year to make this time of year your own and not for other people. And Anamik saying good chatting today. Yes, it was. Hope you have a good holiday, and I will chat with you in the new year. Yes, the day before. So yes, I'll see everybody on New Year's Eve at 1 p.m. It's too bad. There's part of me wishes I had a longer battery so we could do it a little bit longer. But yeah, New Year's Eve, and then we'll just talk about our years and set up our journal for January 2023. Until next time, have a great 2 weeks. Bye.